Among many Kenyan communities, surgical operations cause fear and anxiety. This is largely due to many cases of post-surgery complications, prolonged healing time, and in some cases, death. However, little is known about minimal invasive surgery, which mitigates most of these concerns. The HEM practice has been at the forefront, availing this modern surgical experience to Kenyan patients.
How this journey to the establishment of the HEM practice, how it started was from a very personal experience where I found myself in rural Tanzania, and happy things, I found that I was pregnant, but at the same time I was in a lot of pain. So upon going to the hospital, they said that the pain that I was experiencing was synonymous with ectopic pregnancy, but they were not sure. The ultrasound wasn't able to actually see that. So they decided to do exploratory surgery, where now I had open surgery, or also known as laparotomy. Unfortunately, and fortunately, nothing was found. And I was still pregnant and I was closed. However, I now had a scar, and a week later, I developed severe vomiting and nausea, which is known as hyperemesis. And let's just say it was a very painful 9 months, because I would experience the nausea and the vomiting while I still had a scar. Now, after this experience, my husband actually found he was doing his master's in obstetrics and gynecology, and there was a visiting group from the Duke University at the hospital where he was doing his master's, and they introduced laparoscopy, and he took an interest in it, and I supported, but it was a very out there concept. Only for 2 years later, I had to have a laparoscopic procedure, but with a different doctor. And it was, I got to experience everything that I had heard about. I got to actually see what my husband was talking about, or what the doctors had been saying are the benefits of laparoscopy. In 2 days' time, I was home. In a week's time, I was back to work, and I couldn't believe it. So now moving from something being so, theory to actual practice. And I knew for sure whether I can pronounce laparoscopy or not, I need to get into this business that my husband was doing, and we agreed to birth the HEM practice. And I decided to now use my experience in project management and having handled other businesses before, and brought it now to the HEM practice.
Laparoscopy basically means doing surgery in a minimally invasive way. Essentially what we do is we put small holes. It could be in the stomach, it could be in the knee, it could be in the shoulder, it could be in the back, depending on the where it's being done. So the word minimal invasive surgery actually is the best word to be able to use. It's like the umbrella word. And it allows us to be able to see inside your abdomen. It allows us to be able to see your organs inside and be able to identify where the problem is. It could be a fibroid, it could be blocked tubes, it could be a sick uterus. And once we're able to identify that offending organ, we're able to surgically treat it, either by cutting it out, repositioning it if it's adhesions, or being able to sort it out in any way possible.
So many women are going undiagnosed or misdiagnosed with the issues that they have, whether it's through pelvic pain, whether it's through excessive bleeding, and this does not need to be the normal thing. In fact, growing up, we used to be told, pain is part of the period process, and that should not be the issue. In fact, let me use the word that we use in Kiswahili. As a woman, you're told jikaze, that's what you're told. So what you think is normal isn't. So being able to give back these women the dignity to continue with their lives is so critical and important to us.
I'm Florence Wajiro Kang'ethe from Kabete Sub-County, Muguga Ward. Nyarugumu village. Nilikuwa na shida ya kubleed. My menses were very, very heavy for 1.5 years. Nikaenda kwa hospitali, nikaambiwa ati ni menopause signs. I had to wait. I was buying pads na carton. So kukafika wakati nika faint kwa barabara, nikaokotwa, nikapelekwa hospitali. Hospitali yenye nilipelekwa wakanituma kwa Kehara Hospital level 4. Huko ndio nilipata Dr. Mureithi na ni yeye alinidiagnose na fibroids. Going through laparoscopy nilifurahia sana mpaka nika invite Dr. Mureithi kwa kanisa letu, being the chair of health board, so that he can empower the other members of our church ndio wajue laparoscopy na wajue maisha yenye watu wanapitia, and wenye wako na shida ndio waende wakatibiwe. Nilifurahia sana kwa sababu it was affordable, kwa sababu nililipa theater fee 5,000 shillings only na sikulipishwa the laparoscopy package which was free.
We consider ourselves at the HEM practice as disruptors. We realized that there was a problem where laparoscopy was both not affordable and accessible, where it was found in the cities and it was quite expensive. So we decided to have 3 offerings or 3 services. One is where we see, or the med consulting, where we see the gynecological patients or the women who have gynecological issues. We also have the leasing services where we lease out equipment, laparoscopy equipment, laparoscopic instruments, and a very professional paramedical personnel or a theater staff, which includes a nurse and 2 theater technicians. On top of that, we have THP training, because one of the aspects of who we are is we wanted to hit 2 factors, services to patients, but training to doctors. So for the doctors, we have various training programs, including even observerships and suturing programs, where they get to understand laparoscopy, practice the skills that they need, and we offer them opportunities here in Kenya, but also internationally, to interact with other surgeons abroad and with other hospitals abroad to have a better understanding of what laparoscopy is.
I've been a nurse for the last 17 years, and I can testify that laparoscopic surgery was only taking place in the main hospitals like Kenyatta, Moi Referral, but currently Dr. Mureithi at the HEM practice, they have been doing the laparoscopic surgeries in the rural facilities like Lusigate Level 4 Hospital. And with that, I can see the patients have benefited with the laparoscopic surgery. The HEM practice has been of the benefit to the patient because only the patient pays for the hospital fee and the HEM practice covers for the invasive procedure. As Lusigate Level 4 Hospital, we have benefited courtesy of Dr. Mureithi at the HEM practice through medical trainings and medical camps. Like we had medical camp that was done in the hospital, and we also had medical doctors from Tanzania who paid a courtesy call to the hospital and treated the patients. Also, the staffs have gotten a lot of awareness about laparoscopic surgeries, the trainings, the resources needed, and has been of benefit to us and also the community at large.
THP has been able to affect multiple disciplines, from general surgeons doing appendix surgeries to spinal surgeons doing spinal surgery for disc resections, to urologists doing surgeries on kidneys, to knee surgeons doing arthroscopy. We've been able to impact all these groups of people. Why? Because THP has equipment and also instruments, and mostly, and quite important, a highly experienced team. So the team of nurses is significant for laparoscopic surgery because, one, they offer the part of the assistant surgeon. Most hospitals struggle with that because either they have people who are not well skilled, but we offer that. We offer that solution of we bring you people who are highly skilled, who are able to assist you during the surgery, ensuring that the surgery is successful. This has allowed us to be able to, because of the experience we have, it's been able to allow us to be able to expand in terms of offering mentorship. One of the things that I really struggled with when I was starting THP, the hemp practice, is the fact that I didn't have mentors to be able to guide me through this journey. What I had were a lot of peer-to-peer mentors. So my network of mentees has expanded to up to 20 surgeons. I have mentees in Tanzania, I have mentees in South Africa, I have mentees in Zimbabwe, all across. And we regularly have conversations over the phone, sometimes on Zoom, when they have difficulties in their surgeries. So you find that a doctor has a difficulty in the surgery, they call me, I guide them through, I talk them through how to be able to solve this problem and help them to be able to grow their skills. Even in terms of being able to guide them towards where to get the right resources for them to be able to grow their skill is something we have taken to heart and we've been able to do. That's how THP has been able to impact upcoming and established surgeons.
Hemp practice has a great impact on us because now we are able to give laparoscopic surgeries to our facility, government facility, which was not able before. But with the help of hemp practice, we are able to do the laparoscopic surgeries for the government public patients. And also I'm able to do for the private practice, the private patients also laparoscopic gynae surgeries, which most of the patients, they really like it and they want to do laparoscopic surgeries instead of conventional, the whole cut surgery. The hemp practice has improved me and also a lot of other surgeons because most of us, we don't have the facility or we don't have the equipments to work with. So the hemp practice give us their equipments and also direct supervision with their nurse and the whole technician team. We go to the hospitals, and where I work also, we do surgeries with them. And also the private practice, we also do the surgeries with them, with their equipments. And we have also gone for some of the trainings that the hemp practice has organized, where like, for example, suturing training. So we do in their dry labs, and with some other surgeons also comes. So it helps us to grow our laparoscopic skills and also laparoscopy itself, the surgeries, that helps us to grow with them.
My name is Dr. Penina Mwikali Makao. I'm a community leader. I'm a medical superintendent at Tigoni Level 4 facility. I'm also an obstetrician and gynecologist at the same facility. Previously, we used to do open surgeries at the unit. However, since Dr. Mureithi Dennis joined us, he introduced us to the minimal invasive surgeries. And so through this program, I've been able to practice, I've been able to access literature, and I've been able to build myself in terms of skills. So I've been able to operate on patients under supervision, of course, and I've grown in terms of my skill set, and I'm now more confident. I still have a lot to learn, but having a ready teacher and a ready team and the equipments I need, I know the sky is the limit. The benefits that the patients experience is faster healing, less complications, and even just having the ideal surgery done on them. Secondly, we've had a great benefit in terms of the financial burden reduction. So through the hemp practice, we've had no added cost to the patient, and so the 5,000 to 10,000 is sufficient even for this surgery, unlike what will be offered in other regions whereby patients have to part with even up to $500,000 or more for the same surgery. Thirdly, it gives the patient the dignity, because you can imagine the community we serve are able to experience a surgery that maybe they had never imagined or thought would be done. And so that makes them dignified. If you hear them talk in the communities, in the churches, they say in this facility, we get this surgery under a camera, and they are excited. And so with that, we can say the impact has been felt by the community.
Shida yangu yenye nilikuwa nayo, nilikuwa nimekaa for 1 year bila kupata mtoto. After hiyo nilienda hospitali nikaambiwa niko na tube blockage. Wakati sikuwa napata, nimekuwa nimejaribu kutafuta mtoto ikasidiki sana. Mimi mwenyewe nilikuwa na stress mingi sana. Hata bado papa yetu hata bado alikuwa na stress. Tulikuwa tunajiuliza what is going on. Vile sasa nilikuwa nakaa hivyo unaongea na marafiki zako, sijui mwingine akaniambia niende nijaribu hii dawa ya Masai atuwe inawaki, huwa ina unblock hizo tubes. Nikajaribu mimi mwenyewe but kwangu haikunisaidia. Sasa after kukaa ndio nilikuja tukana na Dr. Mureithi akanifanyia hiyo surgery. After hiyo kufanywa hiyo surgery, at least ilikuja ikafaulu. And after 1.5 months nika-conceive, nikabeba mimba yangu vizuri, nikakuja nikajifungua poa. Kwangu sasa hii mimi niko na furaha, papa yetu ako na furaha. Tunashukuru Mungu. Mahali naishi kuna friend yangu, sister yake amefanywa hiyo surgery. Lakini sasa nikilinganisha na yenye nimefanywa na yenye alifanywa, yangu ilikuwa best. Sasa yake imemkalia, sasa hata hawezi move sana. Na sasa hiyo yake lazima aliambiwa na huyo daktari, lazima ngoje 1 year ili apate mtoto.
The hemp practice has helped us improve our skills in laparoscopy. In our training for general surgery, because we trained in public hospitals without resources, there was not many doctors got the opportunity to train in laparoscopy. I was fortunate enough to be in a center where there was a tower, but there was always so many problems. For example, many times there would not be even carbon dioxide. So there was even an attempt to bring in gasless laparoscopy into the country. It didn't quite come into our facility. And so this is where the hemp practice comes in. We have senior surgeons who are competent with laparoscopy, minimally invasive surgeries. We invite them to surgery and they operate, and we learn by apprenticeship. So that is how we've been learning. And now the hemp practice is making arrangements for us to even leave the country and go to India, for example, to have even more apprenticeship. We're going to have the opportunity to work with more experienced, more qualified surgeons. We're going to see the tips and tricks, different methods, what is most recent, what is most up to date, how we can continue to improve our practice. And so we are very, very grateful to the hemp practice because this is continuously improving our ability to do a better job with every surgery that we do. So there's continuous training, and that is important. And that puts a responsibility on us. When we are trained, we have to train the younger doctors because we already have a shortage. We have very few surgeons in East Africa, Kenya and East Africa, who can do laparoscopy properly. In Kenya, I believe we could be less than 100 in a country of 50 million. So there is a huge gap. More and more doctors need to be trained. We have a situation where we carry the biggest burden of disease, and yet we have the least amount of skill. And just to illustrate, 50% of all colon surgeries in the world now are minimally invasive. Nearly 100% of colon surgeries in Kenya are open. Our patients have horrible scars. So we need to move towards minimal invasive surgery. It is gold standard and it is a way to go. So the hemp practice is really helping to bridge that gap.
The traditional methods of doing minimal invasive surgery are expensive and out of reach to patients, both even to the hospitals. It's a bit quite pricey. This is primarily because they have to do it's a huge capital investment to acquire laparoscopic equipments, to be able to acquire laparoscopic instruments, and to even have a well-trained team of nurses and technicians being able to offer even surgeons being able to offer these services. So the hemp practice comes in to somehow step in between to be able to offer equipment, to be able to offer instruments, to be able to offer the team who are very well trained. And when we do this, we're able to take off the burden of the capital investment from the hospitals. This means that the cost of the surgery ends up being less on the patient. And the fact that we are also mobile ensures that we are able to deal with patients where they are. So we can turn any theatre in any location in this country and be able to turn it into a laparoscopic theatre, essentially making the service available to anyone and everyone, which rhymes with our motto of making laparoscopy the norm and not the exception.
So the one challenge is the cost of the implants that we need to use. The other challenge, of course, is skill. And skill can only come with numbers. The more we do, the better we become. So the hemp practice really is helping us by making laparoscopy available to improve our skill. Obviously, some of the operations that we do require have a very steep learning curve, and so you have to do more and a lot of these operations to be really good or slow down. I mean, reduce your operating time, and that is a challenge that we are confident that we are handling well, and we are continuously we're giving it our best. We're giving it our best, trying to do more and more cases. And that has really, we have seen a difference in, say, reducing our operating times.
Naitwa Naomi Mutano, naishi Makongeni, Thika. I'm married na niko na mtoto mmoja. In December 2022, I had an ectopic pregnancy. Ilikuwa ya pili. That was the second one. So nikaenda hospitali level 5. Wakanifanyia surgery. Wakatoa mtoto. So after that wakaniambia nikaenda nyumbani, and then wakaniambia nirudi after a while. I think inakuanga after a month. So I go back for a checkup. I didn't have the money ya kulipa huko kwao, so nikakuja huku juu kadi huku inalipa. Niko na kadi inalipa huku scan. So doc akasema nikuje ni book clinic yake. Nikuja, so I booked the clinic, nikakuja, and then akanifanyia yeye mwenyewe sasa ultrasound. Venye alifanya akaniambia I'm still pregnant, but it's an ectopic still. So another ectopic. So akaniadmit pia yeye. After kuniadmit akasema nitafanya surgery the next morning, hiyo asubuhi. So akafanya surgery laparoscopic, akufungua kabisa hiyo open surgery. He did the laparoscopic. Akapata, after alifungua akapata mtoto ako sawa, ako kwa uterus. Niko na uterus different, so normal according to him. Ziko mbili, so he said zinakaa hivi love mbele. So mtoto wako kwa hii yenye alikuwa anaona alikuwa kwa hii nyingine. So akasema mtoto wako sawa and everything is okay, so tungangane tuone penye tutafika. I wasn't even sure kama atamake, but alisema tungangane tu na tuamini God atakuwa. So the baby is fine, we're fine, we're happy. Anafikisha mwaka. Yeah, we're excited.
I've been encountering patients, and what we have realized is laparoscopy is something which is desperately needed, not just in our country, but across the continent. Everyone in Kenya and even in Africa either has a relative who suffers from extreme pain during their menses. Women should not be in pain during their menses. So either you have a relative who has extreme pain during their menses, or you know someone, or you have a friend who has extreme pain during their menses. All these clients, all these patients need advanced laparoscopic surgeons. So THP is in the business of trying to expand the number of laparoscopic surgeons in this country. One, we need to build the skill. We need to encourage these surgeons to learn. We need to encourage them to grow. We need to give them the necessary mentorship. I brought up the issue of our training box. The training box is our key. The secret about laparoscopy is it's the only surgery that I can be able to stay in my house, in my bedroom, and practice. And I can be able to take that skill that I have learned at the comfort of my bedroom to the patient. I can bring it to theater, and I can be able to be impactful. No other surgery can be done this way. In open surgery, I literally have to do surgery for me to be experienced. In this other laparoscopy, the secret is in the training box. Being able to get this training box into the hands of surgeons across the continent, to be able to allow these surgeons to be able to gain their skill. That's how we intend to expand our reach and impact across Africa.
Through the precision of laparoscopy, the HEM practice is not only changing surgeries, but changing lives.